Okay.
Hello everyone, my name is Wendy DeVault and I would like to welcome you to the Literacy Volunteers of Harrison County YouTube page. I am here today to present the third in a series of lessons on the 8 parts of speech. And I always like to begin with a sample sentence. If you look up here, it says Eric learned to play guitar by himself. Now, without a knowledge of pronouns, you may think that this is the correct way to speak. But his self is actually not even a word. We want to change that to himself. Himself is the pronoun you need because it's referring to this noun, Eric. So let me define pronoun for you. A pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun. Look at my sample. My friend Lydia loves her new kitten. She takes good care of it. Down here, she is a pronoun. You have to ask yourself, what is she referring to? It's referring to my friend Lydia. It, that's another pronoun. What is it referring to? Her new kitten. You can see how this makes your writing very concise. You don't have to repeat my friend Lydia or her new kitten. The noun that is being replaced, and this is a very important word that you'll meet in other areas of language, is called an antecedent. And I'll spell that for you. So let's look up here. She. What is that replacing? It's replacing the noun Lydia. Okay? So Lydia is the antecedent of she. Okay. Look at our other one, it. What is that replacing? It's replacing the noun kitten. So kitten is the antecedent of it. It's a very important word. Now, there are 6 types of pronouns that I would like to talk about today. Personal, and then there's a subcategory called possessive. Indefinite, reflexive, demonstrative, interrogative, and relative. And I would like to show you examples for each of these, and then we'll practice. Let's begin with personal. A personal pronoun refers to a person or to a thing. That should be relatively easy. The word person is right there. Here are some examples. I, you, he, she, it. See, that's where the thing comes in. It is a thing. We, they, and there are several more. And then the possessives. If you remember from my previous poster, it said possessives are a subcategory. So my, your, his, her, its, our, their, etc. Remember that possessives show ownership. So, he gave me a bite of his apple. There are 3 pronouns in this sentence. He is your first one. It's referring to a person, so it's a personal pronoun. Me is referring to another person, so it's a personal pronoun. And then his. See, his now, it refers to a person, but it also shows ownership. So there we have a personal possessive pronoun. So that sentence has 3. Now the next type is indefinite. And just think about being definite. If you're definite, you're certain of something. These are pronouns that do not refer to a definite person or thing. We use these all the time, but we don't know exactly which people we're referring to. If I would say, everyone needs to come to dinner, well, who's everyone? It could be 2 people, 4 people, 6 people. You're not sure. You're not definite. A lot of these end in the word one or buddy, like everyone, everybody, someone, somebody, and there are others, most, many, few, all, and several. And again, you're not sure. If I said few attended my wedding, well, what is few? Is it 3? Is it 6? Is it 10? You're just not sure. You're indefinite. Let's look at these sentences. Someone left the door open. So where's our pronouns? Right here. Someone. We're just not sure who that person is. I wanted to do this example too, to show you a common mistake people make. Someone left their phone in the gym. So let's circle someone, but here's the problem. This is wrong. Okay, one is singular. Okay, this is plural. You can't do that. So we need to say, we don't know if it's a boy or if it's a girl, so we have to say his or her. Okay, it's a very common mistake. Someone left his or her phone in the gym. Okay, let's move on to the next type. Number 3 is reflexive, and this is used to add emphasis, and there are only 8 of these, not too many. They will end in the word self or in the word selves. Okay? Myself, yourself, himself. If you remember the beginning of this video, it's not his self, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves. I underlined this part because a lot of people say ourself, and that's wrong. Ours plural, so you've got to have the S here, selves. Same way with them. Sometimes people say their selves. It would never be their selves, it's themselves, okay? Tim taught himself Spanish, okay? Again, we have to see these words for it to be reflexive, so it's right here. It's pretty obvious. Himself, and it's referring to Tim. Tim is a boy, him. Kate and myself got an A on the test, okay? There's the self. Okay, but I want to make this point too because I like to clear up common mistakes people make. A lot of people say Kate and myself to sound formal or to sound sophisticated when it's wrong. You have to have the word I with myself. Okay, so if you're using myself as part of the subject, you have to say Kate and I myself. Okay, you can never just use it by myself in the subject category. Okay, number 4 is called demonstrative. And demonstrative demonstrates which one. This is really easy because there are only 4. And if you look, they all begin with TH. This, that, these, those. You're pointing things out. But remember, these are only pronouns if they take the place of a noun. And these 2 sentences really illustrate that pretty easily. This is easy. This lesson is easy. Where you have the word this, you're like, oh, that's a demonstrative pronoun. It is here, but it's not here. Here it already has the noun. It's not replacing a noun, it's adding to the noun. So here this is actually an adjective, this. Okay, so be careful. These are pronouns if they replace the noun. That's a pronoun, this one is not. And for the last 2 types of pronouns, we have interrogative, and that's going to ask a question. There are only 5 of these. And they all begin with WH. Who, whom, whose, which, and that. Who is sitting beside me? Okay, this is really obvious. It's a question. We have a question mark right here. Who is going to be your pronoun? And I have an extra pronoun here, me. And if you remember, this would be a personal pronoun. And the last type is relative. And these might be the trickiest type as you get more advanced in grammar lessons. These are used to connect a phrase or a clause to a noun. And phrase and clause is a little advanced. You may know what these are or not, but I'll show you down here. Who, whom, whose, which, and that. A lot of similarities, okay? This word is different. And you think, well, how do I know the difference? How do I know if this is interrogative or if this is relative? Because it has to connect down here, something extra to the sentence, and then it's relative. Think of a relative as someone you're connected to, your aunt, your uncle, or cousin, connected. Julia is the student who won the talent show. Now, right off the bat, we can see the who. Now, how do we know this is relative and not interrogative? Okay, first of all, we don't have a question here, right? That would be interrogative. But this extra information, who won the talent show, is connecting to student. Okay, so student, we're getting more information on student. So this is a clause, and it's connecting to the rest of the sentence. Now let's practice.